This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Follow at Paul Swann on X for Marshall sports updates and more.
Our text line is brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop this hour, and we're going to open that back up for you in a few minutes at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. But after this interview, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of positive things to say, because I want to welcome back to the program the Assistant Director of Athletic Development, Emily Suter. And I've been looking forward to this because, one, it's not Ryan Crisp, Emily. So right off the bat, we're winning.
Right. I'm doing the listeners a favor by jumping on.
Everybody agrees. Ryan's a great guy, but we'd rather hear you and everybody else other than him. No, in all fairness, Ryan's great. We love making fun of him because it's so easy. But at the end of the day, we're happy to have you here, Emily, because we got a lot to get into. And first of all, it's been a while since we've talked. So how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on tonight, Paul.
I'm looking forward to it. Ryan was joking that you might want to have a career in radio. So at any time you want to just come over, take this show on for a day, a week, a month, go right ahead. It could be your everyday thing.
Okay, just leave the key under the mat and I'll be there tomorrow.
All right, done. Absolutely. So we got a lot to get into. And I know obviously the big thing for a lot of people at Marshall is bingo at the ballpark as we get closer to that event. It's a unique event. I don't think that I've seen anything close to it anywhere around the country, so this is going to be a first for a lot of people. How excited should fans be for this that maybe are going to attend or maybe still on the fence to come be a part of this?
Yeah, no, we're super excited to be bringing a new event, not only to athletics, but to Jack Cook Field. We're partnering with Sandy's Racing and Gaming, and they've donated a bunch of good prizes. We have a lot going on there. And, yeah, John Gordon will be in attendance. We're going to play it like it's a game, so 9 innings. We'll do a cocktail hour and then get into some games, dinner. And if you step outside right now, like, it's a beautiful night. That's what the weather's going to be on Friday. So we're looking forward to get rolling on bingo.
There are a lot of prizes. I'm not talking about just tote bags. We're going to Georgia. Well, you and a guest, whoever wins, can go on the team plane to Georgia. 2 tickets to Zach Bryan, a Carnival cruise, a night at Sandy's Gaming. So we're excited about that. Now, prizes aside, you mentioned John Gordon. He is somebody that is well known. He helps inspire. He's someone that has a lot of positive messages to basically help you get to where you need to be. Just how special is it to have a guy like that not only be at the event, but he's going to be spending some time with several of the programs at Marshall University, a lot of people in the athletic department as well, and, of course, the fans that are involved. What was that connection?
So him and our athletic director, Christian Spears, they have a good rapport going. They've worked together multiple times. He's also worked with multiple people in the area. Ron DeTemple speaks very highly of him. We have a lot of people that are excited for John to come in, give us some insight on how to shed the negative mindset, a message that a lot of people could use, and just some key points on how to make your team stronger, make it better. So yeah, he'll talk to some of our teams, as well as on Friday he'll have the mic for a while.
Will this be your first interaction with him as well when he comes in? Or have you had a chance to, in building up to this event, talk to him a little bit?
I personally haven't spoken to him. I've seen some of his videos on other speaking occasions, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in person on Friday and getting some FaceTime with him.
So that's a big event. Is there any availability left? If someone wants to get in on this, is there a chance for them to get a spot?
Yeah, it is not too late. So you could get a table for 8, and those range based on how many cards you want per game. So also at the door, you can purchase additional cards if you want to make your odds higher per prize. So that's an option as well. But individual tickets start at $250, and you can buy those on Herd Zone. If you go to tickets and then under Big Green events, it'll be at the top of that page. Or you can call the Big Green office at 304-696-4661, and we'll take care of it.
Joining us on the program, she is the Assistant Director of Athletic Development, Emily Suter. And bingo's a big one, but there's something coming up a little bit later on that's always a fun event. And, of course, that's getting to go to the Greenbrier. That is May 30th through June 1st. It's the Big Green at the Greenbrier. This is a big event, and anytime that you can go to the Greenbrier, I think you need to take that opportunity. What makes this event so special for Marshall, and the fact that it's something that everyone looks forward to every year, trying to get a piece of it, to be a part of it?
Right, yeah. So Big Green at the Greenbrier is a special weekend. Last year was the first time that I was able to attend, and just seeing everybody, all the head coaches are there, some of their coaching staff, fans from all over are able to attend. It's open to any and everybody, but the weekend, you can what's special about it is that you can pick and choose what you attend. So there's a welcoming reception Friday night, but then on Saturday, if you want to golf, you can golf. If you want to have a pool day, which is sponsored by the retreat, you could do that as well. Mingle with other fans. People you don't really get to see all the time will be there. So it's just a nice weekend that everybody can kind of relax and come together.
If you were planning your perfect stay at the Greenbrier, this is the Emily package. What would the Emily package look like?
Okay. I think we'd go to the pool all day, relax. They have all these fun drinks that I didn't know about. I actually had blackberry moonshine for the first time last year, so that I look forward to having some more of that with lemonade by the pool. But just camping out by the pool with everybody. It's called Ladies' Day, but once everybody's done golfing, everybody kind of gets together and cools off by the pool. It was beautiful weather last year. Look forward to it not raining on us this year.
And, of course, there's a table where you can dine with Emily as well, right? You've got that set up?
Yeah. No, that can be arranged for the right price, for sure.
I like it. Emily Suter's with us, the Assistant Director of Athletic Development at Marshall University. So 2 big events right there. Bingo at the ballpark, the most pressing right now, and then the Greenbrier event. But something that's always ongoing is Marshall needs support at all times. This is not something where you can give one time and you've done a great job. You'll take that, but you always need a little extra help because the landscape is changing. And so 110% has been sort of a battle cry, maybe a better way to describe it, to really challenge Herd fans to try to give 110% of what you're doing. Can you explain that program a little bit better to maybe someone who's not that familiar with it or would like to help and give a little bit more to Marshall and the athletic department, the Big Green?
Yeah, absolutely. So 110% has always been a box you can check on the renewal form. It's always been an option. So last year, let's say you gave $60, 110%, you'd give $66 for this year. And that $6 makes a huge difference for us. It all adds up. Last year, I think we had 200 people do it, and it came up to almost $400,000 in additional revenue. There's no amount too small. Every box checked or every additional obviously helps us do what we need to do. And Devin Miller and I are working together to make a big push on this year. We've tried to incentivize people. Anybody who does 110%, they get automatically car coasters and an invitation to a cookout in August with our football team, some players from other teams, coaches alike, just to kind of say thank you for what they do. And then each month we've given away that May's giveaway. So if you sign up and do 110% right now, you could throw out the first pitch against Friday's game versus Georgia Southern. So we're doing experiences, gear packages, but like I said, no amount's too small.
So that's an ongoing project. Membership, however, that's something that if you're not a member right now, there's always an easy path for someone to start supporting Marshall and the Big Green. And I'm sure you've maybe got some surprises for us here a little bit down the line, but always trying to build and grow and develop new relationships, new membership. What can you say to maybe that person that likes going to Marshall games, maybe has been a little hesitant to try to get involved with the Big Green, or doesn't know if that's something they can work into their budget, so they've never really bothered with it? You've made it easier than ever for anyone that wants to donate to maybe go monthly, do it in quarters. You don't take all the cash right up front and say thank you. You make it as easy as possible and try to help new people.
$5 a month, and that's all it takes to be a member. Like I said, there's no amount too small. Every impact, every dollar goes towards our student athletes. I know Big Green, we do a lot of events. We do the capital campaigns, but bottom line is we're trying to get students through college. We're trying to give them the opportunity to have a scholarship during their time here, and your money donating to the Big Green helps cover all of that. So it might seem little or trivial, but it really does make an impact on all the student athletes. We actually, on the Big Green website, there's a tab that says impact, and you can hear testimonies from former student athletes. Taylor Strickland, who's still active in the community with Austin, who still gives back, who still attends volleyball games. John Elmore, who is going on and playing in the G League. They all know the impact that the Big Green has had for them. Tyler Brown, who's still in the community and played football here. Devin Miller, who played football here and still came back and chose to work in athletics. Everybody sees the impact. And I hope our donors feel the love from our student athletes and from everybody in the Big Green that it really does make a difference.
That's a good point, because not everyone gets NIL. Not every sport is an NIL type of sport, and for a lot of student athletes, just the fact that there's a mechanism that will help them go to college and get a degree is probably the biggest impact on their life. Yeah, we all would like to be able to get those multi-million-dollar deals, but at Marshall University, it's sort of a mixed bag. Yeah, you have those opportunities, but at the same time, you're trying to make sure that everybody has a good experience, and that's one thing about this athletic department that has really come to the forefront. Every sport is important. It's not just football focused, not basketball focused. It's every sport. So the Big Green helps everybody, not just maybe those one or two sports that get most of the headlines.
Right, and like our international athletes aren't able to get NIL deals, so for them to be able to come to a different country and still be taken care of, like that's so important to them, to their families back home that can see that. It's no amount's too small to make a difference.
My guest is the Assistant Director of Athletic Development, Emily Suter. Also, one of your areas is softball. So you, of course, see the championship fund for softball. Softball, the number 2 seed, getting ready to go win a championship. This is probably the best time now to maybe remind folks how they can help and do extra for the softball program, as Coach Z has got them ready to go win that championship.
Yeah, tomorrow at 2, we're ready. But yeah, there's a donate now tab on Herd Zone or Marshall Big Green, where you can donate to any sports specific program. But yeah, it all matters. There's nothing that doesn't matter. But one last call, the Children's Hospital, Hoops Family Field, we need stuffed animals. They're in a stuffed animal crisis. So if anybody has any stuffed animals that you would like to donate, the Children's Hospital needs them, and they are super important to us. We do a drive during basketball season, but they reached out and they need it now more than they have ever. So if you want to drop off any stuffed animals to the Big Green office, we would be much appreciated.
What about monetary help if you can't go out and get a stuffed animal, but you want to help go get a stuffed animal? Same thing, just come by the office. Is there online set up just yet for that? You can help out as well?
There is nothing set up online from our standpoint, I'm sure the Family Children Hospital does have something set up that way. We did have a donor who wasn't local who actually mailed us a bunch of stuffed animals today. So that was super kind of them. And yeah, it all goes to a good cause.
I've got a suggestion. I know I'm throwing it out there. This is just for next year. This is next year, and you can take this idea, steal it. I don't care. Let's do a fundraiser for stuffies, but let's get all these kids Marco stuffies. Every kid gets a Marco stuffy.
I'm writing it down now.
Okay.
We're on to something. I'll give you credit. Okay,
I'll take that. I can use all the good publicity I can get. I was just thinking about that. Hey, this would be a great idea. I know this is this short term, item that needs to be taken care of now, but I was just thinking long term, wouldn't it be cool if you had something every year where those kids got Marco stuffies and so they become herd fans at even a younger age? I mean, who doesn't love Marco?
Right. Yeah. I mean, during Week of Welcome for all the freshmen, there is a Build a Bison section, so I'm sure we could piggyback off that and do something that'll have a lasting impact on them.
Those are nice, by the way. I was coming out of the stadium for something. I saw a lot of the freshmen with those, and they were hanging on to them for dear life. Those were precious to them. So, yeah, that's...
Yeah, so...
You were going to say, I didn't mean to cut you off. You were going to say?
No, I still have mine. I'm holding on to mine, so I would donate it, but we'll get them their own.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll give them a fresh one that's not 6 years old.
I bet those things go for a pretty penny on eBay.
I'll test it out.
I'm giving you all kinds of ideas. See, this is why I was excited to have you on today. Emily Suter's with us, the Assistant Director of Athletic Development at Marshall University. And, of course, there are a lot of projects going on. Is there anything coming up special that maybe you want to start getting herd fans thinking about now that we can tease, or are we going to save that for next time?
We are actually, our women's basketball team is having a pickleball tournament at the end of June 28th at Barbersville Park. So I know pickleball is all the craze, and if you want to help support our women's basketball program, put in a team, or you can play by yourself and you have the opportunity to play with one of our student athletes or coaches. So that's in the works.
Okay. And so that's going to be in Barbersville. Obviously, pickleball has become this craze. I don't understand it to this day, but I'm just going to go with it. I would think that regular tennis would be the thing, but no, it's pickleball. Do you play?
I am actually on the way to play right now.
Oh, okay. Okay, excellent.
But I also oversee our tennis program's championship fund, and they've had a great year. They just wrapped up a few weeks ago, but they came in second and, beat WVU this year. So they had an exciting year. Wake Forest went down at home. So our tennis team, I need some pointers before I can switch to that.
So let me ask you, as we talk about pickleball, and we'll have you back to talk about it closer to the event, what makes it so fun? What makes it exciting? Why do you think that everyone's starting to take off and go in the pickleball direction? Because I've seen a lot of people post pictures of tournaments they're in, so you're on to something. This is a thing. What is it about pickleball?
Yeah, I think it's just a smaller court, so it's easier to kind of maneuver. I know majority of people play in doubles, so it's also a super fun social aspect of it. You don't have to be good. It's pretty fast-paced as well. I don't think I play it super properly or textbook by any means, so I might not be the expert on the topic, but, people get up there and have quick reflexes. Our student athletes are really good. If you ever end up at Ritter Park, we've had some volleyball players that can get down on the pickleball court.
Okay. All right. So watch myself at the tennis courts or at the pickleball courts. Watch myself because I might be. They might look at me as a mark if I show up. Is what you're telling me.
Yeah. there's some sharks floating around. Our baseball team, they come out to Ritter Park and they are sneaky with it.
I like it. I'm not going to suggest we sponsor pickleball as a new sport at Marshall University just yet, but we'll keep that on the back burner.
So you're not offering to be coach of the team or anything?
I would never take the honor away from John Mercer. Not a bit.
Yeah.
No, he's the best. So I'm not taking the honor away from him.
For sure.
Emily, good talking to you. Let's do this more often. Emily, the Assistant Director of Athletic Development at Marshall University. A lot of good things that are happening. Of course, the plushies, that needs to be taken care of right away. We've got bingo at the ballpark. We've got the event at the Greenbrier. And, of course, you can head over to the Big Green website. There's always something there to help out with. Emily, let's do this again soon. As we were joking around, you can come back. You can every week. We can just give you one day. It'll be the Emily Show.
Perfect. I'm in.
All right.
A telethon.
Let's do it. Emily, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Paul.
That's Emily Suter. She is the Assistant Director of Athletic Director. Let me say that again. Assistant Director of Athletic Development at Marshall University. More coming up on today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.